Hello everyone, Taylorson here and welcome to episode 2 and stage 2 of our Tour de France playthrough on the Tour de France 2026 game. Now if you didn't see the last episode, I will link it in a card above, but Juan Ayuso won the team time trial and has 9 seconds of an advantage on Tadej Pogacar, so there is a chance that we lose the jersey today, but I'm hoping that will not happen. Today's stage then starts in Tarragona and heads towards Barcelona once more for the second straight stage finish in the city, and once again the MONTJUԻC climb features heavily, this time in a hilly circuit, finishing up where we finished the last stage on a difficult hill.
Hello everyone. After the team time trial yesterday, it's now time for the first road race stage of this Tour de France. While the first half of the route is perfectly flat along the coastline, the second half is much more hilly and challenging. The final circuit is dominated by the tough MONTJUԻC castle climb, and this final stretch will surely suit the best punchers in the peloton.
As this Tour de France series goes on, you will learn a lot about our team strategies for the whole tour, and our first objective is to get Matthias Vacek into the breakaway, because I want to win super combativity with the Czech rider, and we've managed to get up the road with a good group of climbing talent. 6 riders in total, the likes of Damiano Caruso here, Valentin Perret-Pantra, Lennart van Eetvelt. This is a very good group indeed, and I'm not sure whether they're going to be controlled. Time for the first intermediate sprint of the 2026 Tour de France, and although we're not going for the green jersey with Vacek, we are going to try and win this intermediate sprint point. The breakaway is down to 4 riders because we have not been given a lot of leash at all. UAE Team Emirates and Visma Lease Bike not happy with the standard of riders in the breakaway, but we're going for the sprint now. We should be able to dust off these climbers. Javier Romo should be the best of the group, but we've got more than enough to see him off and get over the line. Now we're going to switch to Mads Pedersen because he is our green jersey hopeful and our main sprinter in this team. So we're going to try and win the green jersey in the classification with him. And to start off with, we've got to win the intermediate sprint from the peloton, and indeed we're going to do so by quite a distance, timing our sprint perfectly, sitting in the wheels and moving past when we needed to. So Mads Pedersen for the green jersey is our aim for this tour. And the gap to the breakaway never got above 2.5 minutes. UAE Team Emirates seemed desperate to not let a group go up the road, and immediately, on the early climbs, we are being dropped by the rest of our breakaway companions, and soon we're going to be swallowed up by the peloton, because look at how quickly they are closing down the breakaway. I mean, when I started this, they were on about 1:20. They've already closed down 20 seconds to the breakaway group right now, and we are clinging on for dear life with Matthias Vacek, trying to get as many kilometres in the breakaway as possible, but right now is where it ends. We have been dropped off the back and will soon be collected by the Nils Pollitt-led peloton. So, with super combative hopes over, Skjelmose is our latest rider that we've switched to because I want to win the King of the Mountains classification with Matthias Skjelmose. It sounds like I'm trying to win every jersey, and you would be absolutely right. We are trying to win every jersey. We're probably not going to win the yellow one, but Skjelmose is going to pick up some early points. And we're going to do exactly the same again heading up towards MONTJUԻC. We won the last climb as well, so at the moment Matthias Skjelmose leads the virtual King of the Mountains classification, but we want to solidify our result at the top, and we're going to do that by coming over the top of the MONTJUԻC climb for the first time of 3. When we come over this towards the finish, it is going to be a much harder pace than this, but Skjelmose goes over the top of the climb in first and takes 2 more points for his King of the Mountains push. Second lap then, and what you're going to see is it's going to be quicker and quicker as we head up the MONTJUԻC climb. Ayuso hasn't been well placed for this particular climb, and Ben Healy's seen that and decided to go for a good attack, I think. We're going to follow it with Skjelmose because we're interested in the King of the Mountains points, but it's also going to mean that we don't need to do the pacing on the front of the peloton. Healy wins the KOM, but we're going to try and press on a little bit with Skjelmose. It looks like Visma-Lease-Bike are not going to let us go though. Whoa, big crash at the start of the descent, and hopefully none of our guys have been caught up in it. I've managed to avoid it by riding out of the way with Ayuso, but I am afraid that plenty of our riders have been caught behind. We've taken a risk in that we've stuck to the back of the peloton and stayed out of the wind, and that is the risk that you take. And that is not the reward that we wanted, because I think that's Carlos Verona. Indeed it is. A couple of our riders have gone down in that crash. And now we've got to limit the damage with Juan Ayuso. Derek G is right in the middle of it as well, so we're not going to be getting out very quickly with the Canadian. But all of a sudden, as I switch to Ayuso, we've got a catch-up mission on, because we're 24 seconds now behind the leading group of Tadej Pogačar, and we've only got Mads Pedersen and Quinn Simmons now with us, so it is going to be a big test to try and get back to the front of the race, but that is what we're going to have to try and do. Quinn Simmons has done a brilliant job so far of pegging the gap to 15 seconds, which means with a brief attack at the foot of MONTJUԻC, we should be able to make it back to the leading group, and indeed, round that bend we do. Which means our focus now shifts to the stage win, whether we can get it or not. I was thinking about attacking on this climb had I been in good position, but we're not going to do that, so let's skip to the finish. Here we go then for the first road stage of the Tour de France 2026, and Visma-Lease-Bike and UAE Team Emirates have already stamped their authority on the race. Little Trek have managed to get the yellow jersey back in the leading group, but now attention turns to who will win the stage. We're under 1 kilometre to go, and Ayuso tries a dive bomb up the inside. Now it's a steep hill to the Olympic Stadium, and who is going to have the raw power to beat everybody? It's a win for Decathlon CMA CGM, and is it Paul Seixas that has made up for a poor time trial? The answer, very surprisingly, is no. Matthew Riccitello is the stage winner for Decathlon CMA CGM. I was convinced that it was Paul Seixas when I watched that replay, but seemingly Riccitello won the stage, and that is a surprise. What was also a surprise was that Tadej Pogačar did not gain any time on Juan Ayuso, which means we continue to be in the yellow jersey and keep that 9-second gap to the Slovenian that we had before. We're also in the King of the Mountains jersey with Matthias Skjelmose, thanks to the points that we picked up throughout this stage. So we, at the moment, hold 3 out of 4 jerseys. It's only Riccitello in green that is preventing us from doing a clean sweep of all of the major jerseys at this race. Here's the result then. We didn't lose any time on Tadej Pogačar, but we did lose 6 bonus seconds to Remco Evenepoel in second place. Matteo Jorgensen rounds out the top 3 with Ben Healy 4th. Perhaps if he didn't go on the attack, he might have won. We finished safely in the leading group with Juan Ayuso just behind Vingegaard and Pogačar on the stage, but in the general classification, we are ahead of both of them. 9 seconds clear of Pogačar, with Remco moving up to 3rd on 23 seconds and Lipovic into 4th. Vingegaard sits on 6th with 40 seconds difference to Juan Ayuso, as does Isaac Del Toro in 5th. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. We're going to move on to tomorrow's stage, and the stages do not get easier at all. Our first medium mountain stage of the Tour de France awaits, but that will be in the next episode. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new to the channel to stay updated with this series as it goes along. Stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.